How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. Guys, so I've been getting a lot of messages coming my way saying, hey, Gangi, when you talk about manipulation, you're saying slow and subtle. What does slow and subtle really mean? And I think that's a great question. You know, I wrote a book, Inmate Manipulation Decoded, and actually the book kind of showcases what slow and subtle means through the stories it shares, but it doesn't really give it a definitive word. A word that can make us realize how complex and how dangerous that game really is. So I came up with a word, and I think the word applies well. And the word is adaptive. Expert manipulators are adaptive. Granted, guys, when we look at the situations that have occurred in the past, let's say Toby Dorr smuggling out an inmate to a dog crate, or Vicky White just walking out with an inmate, we look at the outcome and it's easy for us to say that will never happen to us because all we see is the outcome. All we see is the end result. But that doesn't help us because at that point it's too late. There's a process that occurs before that. And if you don't understand the process or how complex that process is, then it's going to happen again. Because even if you believe it may not happen to you, maybe it won't, I don't know. But if you're only looking at the outcome and you're disregarding the process, then you're probably not recognizing the process when it's happening to someone else. And in the end, when that person does something foolish, what are you going to say? Well, I knew something was happening. I felt it, but I didn't do anything. That's why what we have to do is we have to find a way to identify through that ambiguity the process and then put all hands on deck to stop it. 100%. Now, again, the reason why I say the game is adaptive is because you may think you know who you really are. I'm going to say think. But who you really are is really determined by how you react to the situations you face. I mean, you could talk all the talk. But there are going to be situations that are going to put pressure on you, and that's going to show you who you really are, not just in the moment, but who you really are. And inmates know that. Not only are they looking for a target, they're looking for situations that showcase vulnerability in that target. And the reason that inmates are master manipulators is because they spend energy focusing on the situations that can pressure people into doing foolish shit. So there's a combination here. Yes, there's the person and their vulnerability, but they're good at controlling situations. So if you're not aware of the situation that you're in and what that situation truly does to you, the inmates will be, because they're observing. They're watching everything that you're doing. And they know that if I control that situation, if I can make something like that happen again, I know how to play this person out. They just showed me something that they don't even realize they showed me. And the sad thing is, guys, we are oblivious to that. Most of us. Most of us. Again, you could have an environment that is a good working environment and it reinforces that communication, that connection we need with each other to stop the process from even happening, because inmates are checking on the environment as well. Like if I create this situation or any obstacles that is going to prevent a counter influence to what it is I'm trying to do. But when you have a complacent environment, as what we've seen in both the stories that we talked about recently, then that gives the inmate carte blanche to create whatever situation they want. There's no counter influence. And they can adapt to the needs of that individual because they're got no resistance. Even the individual doesn't quite know what they're doing, which is scary. I mean, people think like, well, you know, it's never going to happen to me, but yet you spent 5 minutes talking about your favorite car. Or the other day you were home thinking about, I'm going to tell the inmate who won the football game. I can't wait for them to realize the Giants won. Oh, you're at home and you want to tell the inmate when you get back to work that the Giants won a game while you're at home? So the inmate's in your head while you're at home? You know, manipulation, the end result is not always bringing in a cell phone or helping an inmate escape or having sex. Sometimes it's just about sharing things that are too personal. If the inmate's asking questions, the inmate's the one in control. And here you are just exchanging personal information like it doesn't matter, but in their mind, they're figuring you out. They're working their game. And again, this game is not going to happen in the next moment. It could happen years down the line. They're creating leverage. So again, guys, I just want people to know, don't minimize how adaptive a game can be. Don't. Because in the end, if we overlook how expert manipulators can adapt to the situations that they're in or to the situations that they can create to exploit vulnerability in the person that they're trying to manipulate, then we are going to get caught up. And now if you connect an inmate who's very adaptive to an environment that's very complacent, who's in control? Who is in control? As always, guys, the show is Tear Talk. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify every time I post a video. Stay safe.